Due south of Lesbos is Chios, the fifth largest of the Greek islands, situated a mere 7 kilometers off the coast of Asia Minor, and noted for its strong merchant shipping community, its inimitable mastic gum, and its stunning feudal villages. This is a navatos, which literally means unassailable, an ill-fated choice of name, given that it was largely abandoned as a result of the Turkish invasion of 1822.
It does have quite an eerie atmosphere, albeit slightly compromised by the seething mass of Easter tourists. But it's hardly surprising, really, that this place is spooky. All the men were killed defending the village, and in protest, and to avoid being taken by the Turks, the women and children threw themselves off the cliffs.
The village of Pyrgi is a rather more cheerful place, with its distinctive graffito technique used to decorate the exteriors of many of the buildings. The outer layer of cement is painted white, and then geometric shapes like chevrons, triangles and circles are scraped away. But the best preserved of these ancient villages is Mesta. The houses are built side by side, so tightly that there are only 2 entrances into town, and its interior was deliberately constructed as a maze to confuse raiding pirates. It's also a centre for a unique crop, from which we derive the verb to masticate. To find out more, I met up with local guide and mastic producer Vasilis.
So basically it's a kind of tree sap.
That's right, right under the bark of the tree, resin.
They look quite like oak trees, I guess.
They're not trees actually, they're bushes that we have to prune them in a way that they get to have thick trunks and branches.
Tell me a little bit about the history of mastic, because it's been an industry on this island for thousands of years, hasn't it?
Yes, that's right. The first reference on the trade of mastic was by Herodotus in ancient Greece about the trading of mastic on Chios Island.
So I know it's used for chewing gum and as a flavouring, but I also read that it's an antioxidant, that people use it for health properties. Is that true?
Yes, antioxidant, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory qualities. It's really interesting.
Well, how did you get into mastic growing in the first place?
I come from this place. My grandparents come from this place. I have a friend here. We was coming from vacation, and he said, if you quit your job in Athens and move here, my grandmother, he says, he does 100 kilos of mastic. You could do more. Why don't you try? And I said, okay, it's not such a bad idea.
And what were you doing before?
In the IT sector, I was...
You were in IT?
Websites.
That's quite a contrast of lifestyles, to go from IT and working in front of a computer to being out in the fields harvesting your mastic.
It's a quality of life change, you know. It's a totally different thing.
Talk me through the process then. This is obviously the tools of the trade.
These are the tools of the trade. So we need the area under the branches leveled and clear.
Clear.
We sweep away the leaves.
Mastic was very valuable, wasn't it?
Yes. In the Middle Ages, it used to be a kilo of mastic was equivalent to a kilo of silver.
Okay, so we've cleared the area now. I'm guessing that that big bucket of...
It's calcium carbonate powder. We need a clean layer for mastic to drop on. So you spread it like this. Want to try?
Yep. I'm left-handed, so I have to go like that.
Trying not to hit the trunk.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Absolutely rubbish.
Have you considered life change shift?
Maybe not into mastic production.
Okay.
Okay, how am I doing?
Fine, fine. You don't have to do all.
Okay.
We use this tool, special tool for this job, and we make incisions like this.
And that's enough. That little
That's
tiny
enough.
nick you've made there is enough to let all the sap start to flow out of it.
Yes, but it drips very slowly. I did an incision on another tree yesterday, so you can see it today.
Fantastic. Okay, let's have a look at that.
You see, there it is.
Wow.
Don't touch it. It's it's too sticky.
Yeah, it is.
You see, it takes at least 5 days, maybe more, to dry.
And that turns into sort of a crystalline form, is it?
That's right. It drops on the ground, and it's a small crystal that you collect from the ground at the end of the harvest season. There is a nice shop in the town run by the cooperative. Let's go there and find out. What do you think?
Perfect.
Wait.
You seem to be able to make an awful lot of things with mastic.
Yes, it's a big variety of products that you can find here. And it all starts with this.
With that,
you remember this?
which I recognise. And that's the cleaned up
Yes, the
final
crystals.
product.
The crystals we get from the tree.
I am allowed to open this, aren't I?
Yes, sure.
And you just chew this like gum?
This you can chew directly, will turn into a gum in your mouth.
It's the original chewing gum.
Yes, the most natural gum you
The
can
world's
have.
first. Very chewy. Quite difficult, actually. It's a bit of a workout for your jaw. But it's a nice taste. It's unusual.
It is, yes.
Eucalyptus, pine kind of sap-like flavour.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Okay,
I do
great.
like it.
Chios is a fantastic place to visit any time of the year, but if you want to see it at its best, then you have to come here for Easter. There are masses of celebrations and festivities where visitor participation is welcome. But there's one event that's definitely locals only, where spectators are told to keep their distance, and ambulances and fire engines are on constant standby.
So Vasily, let me see if I got this straight. The people of the town here have been firing rockets at their churches ever since the Ottoman Empire.
Yes, that's right. During the Ottoman rule, they started this. They were firing with cannons and gunpowder, and then they started putting stones, rocks with the gunpowder. That was not a very good idea for the Turks. They were afraid that will turn the cannons towards them, and they forbid that. So then they invented the rockets.
So they came up with the rockets. Well, I can't help but ask the question, why?
Just for fun.
Just for fun? Wow. Okay, so they weren't
That's a
supposed
warning.
to start.
No.
That's just a shot across the bows. So we're really now standing directly in the line of fire.
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's this church versus that one over there. Just the two churches in the town here.
That's right. That's the only two churches, I mean, on the island and probably in the world that do this crazy thing.
I know, I was going to say, it's probably the only place in the world that you'd be allowed to do something as crazy as this. So they just line them all up along these slats here and then reach in with a lighter or set the fuse and off they go.
Yes, and now they are just testing, then they put them all in the line and fire them all at once.
Right. So can I test one?
Yes, that would be a good idea.
Whoa! I think I'm going to get the tower. You're close. Thank you. Your cigarette back. Most people in the village are up there watching from a safe distance on the mountainside, but we're here in the middle of the action, and I love it. That was a good first wave.
Yes, for the crews in this station.
Absolutely. We're now going to get the retaliation, I imagine, as well.
I can't wait.
I can hear this. I can hear the siren. It's 8:30 now. It's really starting to hot up. It's getting dark. Our siren's about to go off, and this is the next wave. I'm down at the far end now. I can see why the Germans banned this when they occupied the island. It's got to be a breeding ground for pyromaniacs and explosives experts.
There are plenty of nice hotels on Chios, but if you require abject luxury, there's only one option: the Argenticon estate in the chic citrus district of Cambos, just south of Chios town.
The house and grounds were built in 1550 to be a summer palace for the Genovese Argenti family. Following an unsuccessful uprising against the Ottomans in 1822, surviving members of the family fled back to Italy and the estate fell into ruin. It was rebuilt in the first half of the 20th century and has subsequently been given a multi-million-dollar makeover to become one of the most luxurious hotels in Greece. You don't book a room here, you book a suite, and it's incredibly palatial. Dark crimson furnishings, oak, mahogany headboards and chest of drawers, marble floors. It's the last word in opulence. This is a very fine example of medieval Genovese architecture, and the gardens are something else. It's a great shame you can't smell this, because the air is almost dripping with the scent of orange blossom. And look at these pathways. The narrow ones with the straight hedges are for the staff, and the wider ones with the receding hairline are for the guests.
Argenticon is completely walled in to afford protection, but not for its occupants so much as for the acres and acres of citrus trees that require shelter from the winds. For it's estates like this, in the Cambos area with its rich, slightly brackish soil, that have made the island's blood oranges, lemons and limes so highly prized. Along with mastic and citrus, the island's wealth stems from its ancient connections with the marine industry. More shipping tycoons hail from here than anywhere else in Greece, and I'm off to have Easter lunch with one of them.
Andre.
Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to HIOS.
Surprised I managed to find you
And
here.
happy Easter.
Thank you. Happy Easter indeed. It's a bit of a maze out there.
It is quite a maze. I'm not sure if it was built like that against unwelcome visitors from across the waters or what, but we've been left with it.
Yes.
This island has quite a long history. Most of the professors tend to believe that Homer is coming from
That
here.
he's from Chios?
Yes, he's from HIOS. What you see is traditional Easter food in Greece. Starting from the pièce de résistance, it's a kid. The tradition in Greece is to have a baby goat or a baby lamb on a skewer, slowly grilled. We are going to have homemade sausages, and this is as a starter. It's called kokoretsi. It's the equivalent of our Scottish tradition. You have the lamb intestines, which they're filled with liver, lungs, and heart. Small cuts rather than minced the way you do the haggis.
Okay.
And cheese,
Roasted
which
cheese.
is made in HIOS. It's called masteli, and it's cooked the same way as halloumi, and we use it as a starter.
That does look fabulous.
I sat next to Andre's wife Lucy, who has spent several days preparing this magnificent feast.
Is Easter the only time you'd eat this?
Traditionally it's Easter,
Yeah.
but you can eat it all the year round in
Okay,
Greece.
but it's a bit
and-
like turkey in the sense that this is the time.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
If you find tavernas that do meat on the spit,
yeah.
they will have kokoretsi.
Yeah. Wonderful. The skin's fantastic. Full of flavour.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Very similar, though, to lamb.
Yes. Yes,
I
it
wouldn't be
is.
able to tell that was goat. If someone gave that to me, I'd think it was lamb.
I don't think I could tell if it was good.
But it's delicious. Thank you. Aside from the fact that it's Easter and those are eggs, is there any other sort of special significance to these? Is this decorative or
No, there is a symbolism.
is this symbolism?
It symbolises the boulders which are outside Christ's tomb, which
Were
moved-
rolled back.
rolled back when he resurrected. Take an egg,
Yeah.
you have it either tail up, and you say Christ is risen,
Christ is risen.
and I say he is truly risen, and you, and then you turn the egg the other
way.
and you say the same to
Okay.
me,
Christ is risen.
and you've won. Mine's smashed
Yours
on
is smashed on
both ends.
and mine's still intact.
Yes.
That's probably got more to do with whether the chicken's been getting enough grit recently, but it's excellent. So it's kind of like the Easter version of pulling a cracker.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes, yes.
Except you know what you're going to get when you open it. They're hard-boiled,
Yes.
I presume, are
They're
they?
hard-boiled,
Okay,
yes.
that's a relief. Ladies and gentlemen, may I propose a toast to our hosts for a fantastic lunch, and thank you very much for allowing me
Pleasure
to
to have you
join
Pleasure
you
to
for
have you.
a home from home.
and
to
to
show you
share
the
our
island.
holiday with you.
Thank you.
And we hope you come back again.
Yamas.
Yamas.
Yamas.